गुरुरमूर्ति पूजामूलं गुरुर्पदम् मन्त्रमूलं गुरुर्वाक्यम् मोक्षमूलं गुरुकृपा. The root of meditation is the Guru's form. The root of worship is the Guru's feet. The root of mantra is the Guru's word. The root of freedom, moksha, is the Guru's grace. Today's episode is dedicated to my Guru and all the masters present in this time and space. Namaste, beautiful people. Guru Purnima, auspicious feeling, auspicious time, and of course, lucky all of you who have identified your Gurus. Datta Guru. It is a very big blessing to find your Guru in your humanly lifetime. I cannot express in words how meaningful this humanoid journey would be to hold your Guru's hand and walk ahead. It's a state of perfect happiness, that which we call bliss. Today morning I was just doing my general net surfing and I came across this cute little story of Swami Vivekananda. The story of how he was helped by the universe to identify his Guru and how important it is to actually give in your entire self to what the Guru says. It was very overwhelming to read it. So I thought I should just share this cute little story with all of you by doing this quick gupshup with you all. Maybe this could be a message to all of you to get in touch with your Guru. So let me tell you this beautiful story. The story of Swami Vivekananda's selfless devotion towards his Guru. And his Guru was Ramakrishna Paramhans. Swami Vivekananda asked for only spiritual knowledge, devotion, detachment from worldly pleasures from the goddess Jagdamba. We all know about this, his life and all. We all have read about it. In this story, he has actually explained how this all happened to him. So he says, when he left his home in search of job, there were many worldly thoughts in his mind. So he was just out to earn some money and he was working in an attorney's office, and by translating some books and all, he just managed to pull in some money, but he could not succeed in getting a permanent job. He failed to make permanent arrangement for his provisions, for his mother and his brothers. So he was just sitting one day and a thought just crossed his mind. He thought, God listens to Thakur. Now who is this Thakur? His Guru, Ramakrishna Paramhans, whom he used to call Thakur. So he thought that he should go to Thakur and he should pray, tell Thakur to pray for him for relieving his mother and brothers of their hardship. So he thought Thakur would never refuse his request. So thinking so, he reached the Dakshineshwar Mandir, in Calcutta, and told Thakur, repeatedly he was telling him, just pray to Jagannatha for relieving my mother and brothers of their financial problems. But Thakur said, I cannot ask mother, like this, Jagannatha, for such things. Instead of that, why don't you yourself go to mother and tell her about your problems? So Thakur also told him that he suffered all this because he had no faith in mother. But Vivekananda just refused to budge and said that he did not know mother. So how can he ask her all these things? So he said, "You have to do this, and I will not leave till then." So Thakur just smiled at him lovingly and said, "See, I tell her so many times to relieve you of your hardships, but because you do not believe in her power, she does not listen to all those prayers of mine. So you do one thing. Today, anyways, is Tuesday. So go to Kali Mata's temple today night and pay your prayers to her. She will give you whatever you ask for. My mother is very divine. She has given birth to the universe. What is impossible for her if she desires?" So after listening to all these words of Thakur, Vivekananda says, he is very sure that all his problems will definitely get solved once he prays to the goddess. So he was waiting eagerly for the night to come. So 3 hours, after 3 long hours, it was dark, and he started going towards the Kali Mata Mandir. As he entered the mandir, he profoundly experienced a trance kind of, his feet started to tremble. The strong belief in his mind that he would be able to see the mother and hear her voice made him actually forget the materialistic world. All worldly thoughts completely vanished from his mind of asking for, whatever for his mother and his brothers. All thoughts in his mind just vanished, and the thoughts only were of Mother Jagdamba. After entering the temple, he saw that Mother was really divine. She was actually alive there, and she was the source of love and beauty. He could actually experience that. His heart was full of devotion and love. He repeatedly paid his prayers to her and said, "Oh Mother, just grant me the boon of discriminating between the right and the wrong, detachment, spiritual knowledge, devotion, and see to it that I always get your vision without any hindrance." His heart was so much at peace. The whole world just disappeared, and only Mother occupied his heart. When he returned to Thakur, Thakur asked him, "Vivek, did you pray to Mother to fulfill all your wishes?" And Vivekananda was surprised and said, "No, Thakur, I forgot to ask. Now what do I do?" So Thakur said, "So go again and pray to her." So Vivekananda went to the temple again. He was in the similar trance. He forgot everything, what he wanted to ask, all the worldly desires. He repeatedly prayed to the mother for knowledge, devotion, and then again returned. So Thakur again asked him, "Did you tell her now at least?" Again he was surprised and said, "No, master, I just get spellbound due to the divine energy of Mother. When I stand before her, I just forget everything. And I only ask for knowledge and devotion. What will happen now?" So Thakur just smiles at him. He's just smiling at him. And then he said, "Okay, so now again you go. You could not even tell her what you want every time you went to the temple. Such a simple thing you could not tell her. Again, if possible, go quickly and tell her everything you wish." So again, Vivekananda entered the temple, and he was greatly ashamed of himself this time. He was just feeling so ashamed and so low of himself this time. He started thinking, "What an ordinary thing I have come to ask for." This is just like what Thakur says, "When the king is pleased with you, it is senseless to ask for a god." Is this my intellect so deteriorated? That was Vivekananda was feeling that time. And he was also like feeling that, have I come to ask for such an ordinary thing? So repeatedly he was praying to Mother. He said, "Just give me knowledge and devotion and nothing else." A thought came to his mind when he came out of the temple that all that had happened with him in that night was all Thakur's divine play. Otherwise, having gone to the mother 3 times, how could he not ask for anything from her? So then he told Thakur, I know it was you who made me forget everything. So now you only promise me that my mother and brothers will have enough food and clothing forever. So he said, I mean, that is, Paramhans said to him, I could never pray like this for anyone before. I cannot utter such prayers. I told you whatever you asked for from mother, you would get it. You could not ask. What can I do if you are not destined to have worldly satisfaction? This is what Paramhans says to him. And Vivekananda humbly says to him, Maharaj, I am absolutely sure that if you say, then my mother and brothers will not suffer in their life. So Vivekananda persistently told his guru to say that for him. And then finally, Ramakrishna Paramhans, his Thakur, said, okay, go. They will not have any problems in getting simple food and clothing henceforth. Such a beautiful connection, it's so envious and so cute. So what do we learn from the story of Swami Vivekananda? We can see that a seeker with pure intellect will ask for spiritual rather than worldly things, because that the worldly things any which way is for you don't have to ask for it. He will ask for things useful for social welfare. There'll be no selfish motive in it. Hence, fulfilling such seekers' wishes will only benefit the universe. And other things of the seeker is any which way is taken care of. Believe me, this happens. So, moreover, this was such an important time in the life of Swami Vivekananda. He actually got his guru. He had all respects for his Thakur, Ramakrishna Paramhans. But his realization that to reach the goddess, his guru played such an important role. What a beautiful lesson, what a beautiful realization. The time had come for Swami Vivekananda to meet his guru who would lead him to the path of enlightenment. So, after listening to this beautiful story, who do you think you need to seek? So, you need to have a godfather or you need to have a guru. Choose and decide for yourself. I think it's now we can understand, or now we can feel the difference between a guru and a godfather. So whether you are working in a corporate world or Bollywood, or even if you are simply staying in a society where you need to follow somebody whom you do not feel drawn to, or are somehow just pushed to follow the herd mentality, then choose to quit from there and make your soul happy, because that will only lead your life to destruction. Just go deep within to ask your soul, are you seeking only that momentary pleasure, or it's time you need something permanent on this earth to live? Of course, which will again, the wisdom will be carried even after your physical body is over. So remember, a guru will always lead you to living your soul path. You will always feel that sigh of relief for your soul, which is permanent and not momentary. You will just feel it. You will not find words to explain that ecstatic feeling. Believe me, this just happens. It is so, it just happens, as if it is just decided. So decide whether you want momentary pleasures in your life or permanent prevailing peace. Even if you are in any kind of situation, you will still be calm and stable and be able to take a decision. And the path will be cleared and taken care of if you have a guru. I'm sure all those who are already having their spiritual gurus are connecting to what I'm telling you and will definitely agree with me. So decide, Godfather or Guru. So I'm sure you all are thinking, now how am I supposed to know who is my Guru? Yeah, this was a question for me a few years back, but I got my answers. And I shall definitely touch this beautiful topic in our next Soul to Soul Gupshup. Till then, there is some homework for your souls, okay? So you all do this homework. So I have 3 questions for you. You'll answer this in your spiritual journals, which we made right at the beginning of our Soul to Soul Gupshup episodes. So the first question goes like, think of all those situations wherein you have felt forcefully pushed to follow somebody or somebody's thoughts. Write it down. Secondly, you have been simply following somebody due to a herd mentality. Just write it down. Those situations, those people, just write it down plainly. And lastly, thirdly, have you ever asked the universe to reach you to your guru? And now do you feel the urge to do so? Just answer these plain questions in your spiritual journal. Remember, the universe will create circumstances for you to meet your guru. Like it was just meant to happen so naturally. So just be aware from now, because I'm creating that awareness inside you right now. Because if you're looking for one, if you're looking for your guru, you shall surely find one. Just keep a check on what you exactly desire and want. Awareness, be in that awareness. You may write down all your answers in your journal or also in the comments column of our YouTube channel of this particular episode. I shall address them all. Also, any queries I shall address. So let us all meet in our next Soul to Soul Gupshup episode and see how to know who is our Guru or how to find a Guru. And if you have soulfully liked this episode, whatever I have shared with you just now, do like it, subscribe our channel, and press the bell icon for further updates. So, Dr. Shibani signing out now. To meet you next time in our next episode of Soul to Soul Gupshup, where we will help you find your Guru, find your divine path. Till then, enjoy this auspicious day of Guru Purnima. Be blessed. Just seek your masters, seek your gurus, and put it in the universe that you want to meet your guru if you don't have one. Datta Guru.